Bigo, tune in for the show. Business matters, we're about to blow. Streaming each night, never take a break. Making real big moves, can't make mistakes. Bigo.
All right, diving in again. Today, we're looking at something pretty cool. Bigo Live.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
It's a live streaming platform, but it's not just like, just broadcasting. Yeah. It's got this whole virtual economy thing going on.
Interesting.
Yeah, based on like digital gifts and stuff. It's wild.
Okay.
We've got some articles here that break it all down, so I'm ready to get into it, see how deep this rabbit hole really goes.
Yeah, I think the really interesting thing about Bigo Live is that it goes beyond just like the usual streaming experience.
Right.
Like, we're going to explore how it's built this unique ecosystem for supporting creators.
Okay.
Which is pretty different from, platforms like YouTube or Twitch.
Yeah. Okay, so for anyone who's maybe like never even heard Bigo Live before, think of it like a live video chat platform, but with an audience.
Okay.
So users can broadcast themselves doing pretty much anything, and viewers can like interact all in real time. But then there's this added layer. You mentioned these Bigo Diamonds, right?
Exactly. So Bigo Diamonds are the platform's virtual currency.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a digital economy within the app. You can buy these diamonds.
Okay.
And you use them to send virtual gifts to these broadcasters during their live streams.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So it's not just passively watching. You're like actively participating.
Exactly.
Showing support.
Yeah.
I was looking at some of the articles and like these gifts, they range from really simple stuff like, a virtual rose to like way more elaborate animations like a fire-breathing dragon.
Wow.
I mean, it's pretty creative.
It is. And that's a key point, I think, right? These gifts, they aren't just for fun.
Right.
Like, they have real value within the system.
Okay.
And by sending these gifts, the fans are directly contributing to their favorite creators' income.
Oh, wow.
So you can think of it as like a modern day patronage system, but like specifically tailored for this, this digital age.
I see. Okay, so how do you actually get these Bigo Diamonds then?
Well,
You mentioned buying them, but is there like any other way?
the main way is going to be purchasing them,
Okay.
either directly in the Bigo Live app or through their separate platform called Bigo Pay.
Bigo Pay.
Yeah, Bigo Pay often has like a wider range of payment options,
Okay.
which is important for a platform that has like, such a global user base.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then, let's say you've got these diamonds. What can you actually do with them? Besides, like, showering your favorite broadcasters with these gifts.
So diamonds unlock a whole ecosystem within Bigo Live.
Okay.
Besides gifts, they can grant you access to like premium features, exclusive events that are hosted by broadcasters.
Oh.
And you can even like boost your visibility in chat rooms.
Really? So it's not just about, like, throwing money at the screen.
No.
It's about participating, enhancing your own experience within the community.
Exactly.
Does that almost, like, create a sort of hierarchy? Like, within the app?
It does.
Users with more diamonds have, like, more influence.
Yeah, it definitely creates a system of tiered access and influence.
Okay.
So the more diamonds you have, the more opportunities you have to like stand out and participate.
Okay.
And potentially, even connect with your favorite broadcasters.
So that's interesting. I mean, on one hand, it seems like a very, like, direct way to build relationships between creators and fans.
Right.
But, it also makes me think about some of the potential downsides. Like, could this, encourage overspending?
Yeah.
Or even like a sense of pressure on the broadcasters to, perform in certain ways to earn those diamonds.
I mean, those are definitely valid concerns. I think it's important to look at, both the positive and the potential negative aspects of any system like this,
Right.
especially when it involves, real money and these online interactions.
Yeah. It's a good reminder that even though it's a virtual world, there are like real world implications.
Exactly.
But before we like get into all of those complexities, I kind of want to just walk through the process.
Right.
Like, how do you actually get those Bigo Diamonds?
Right.
I'm curious to see how this virtual economy actually functions, like in practice.
Sure. Let's break it down. So imagine you're in the Bigo Live app.
Okay.
You're scrolling through these live streams. you come across a broadcaster that you really want to support.
Okay.
How would you actually go about, getting those diamonds to send them a gift?
Well, you said you can purchase them directly through the app, right?
Yeah.
Is there like a specific section for that?
Yes. So if you go to your profile within the app, there's usually an option that's labeled wallet.
Okay.
Think of it as like your virtual bank account for like all things Bigo. This is where you like manage your diamonds. You can explore the different packages that are available for purchase.
So it's like a virtual store.
Exactly.
Where you can like choose the diamond package that fits your budget and, how generous you're feeling.
Right.
Like if you're feeling super generous, you go for the mega package.
Yeah.
If you want to set a quick hello, you can go smaller.
Yeah. And the payment process is usually pretty streamlined. So you just use like whatever payment method is linked to your app store.
So it's all very like user-friendly, integrated into the experience. Mm-hmm. What if you're like already watching a live stream?
Yeah.
And you get the urge to send a gift? Do you have to like interrupt what you're doing?
No.
Go back and buy more diamonds?
No, actually that's one of the clever features of Bigo Live.
Okay.
You can actually buy diamonds without ever leaving the live stream.
Really?
Yeah. So you simply like tap the gift icon.
Okay.
And if you're running low on diamonds, there'll be like a recharge option. So you can just buy more right there.
That's really convenient.
It is.
They definitely make it easy to keep the diamonds flowing.
Right.
But, I'm also curious about the other method you mentioned, the Bigo Pay.
Yeah.
Why would someone choose to buy through that platform rather than directly through the app?
So Bigo Pay is Bigo Live's dedicated platform for handling, transactions.
Okay.
It's accessed through their website.
Okay.
And it often offers a broader range of, payment options.
Okay.
It caters to a wider audience. Like people have all kinds of preferences.
Right. So maybe you prefer using a particular digital wallet.
Right.
Or a prepaid card.
Exactly.
Something that's not, directly linked to your app store.
Right.
So Bigo Pay kind of gives you that flexibility.
It does. It's about providing options and making the process, as seamless as possible for all these different users.
Now, okay, we've talked all about buying diamonds, but is there any way to get them without spending money? Are there any freebie opportunities?
Yeah. Bigo Live doesn't just like hand out free diamonds all the time.
Right.
But they do occasionally have like promotions, challenges where users can earn them.
Oh, okay.
So it's worth kind of keeping an eye out.
So it's always good to be like informed, see what opportunities pop up, maybe follow their social media.
Yeah.
Check the app for announcements.
Exactly. That's a good move for any savvy Bigo Live user.
All right. So we've got the ins and outs of actually like buying the diamonds.
Right.
But now I want to get into like the specifics of what you can do with them.
Okay.
We know sending gifts is the most obvious one.
Right.
But you also mentioned premium features and these exclusive events.
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued by that.
Okay, well let's dive into that.
Yeah, what kind of premium features are we talking about?
Okay, so it varies, but think of it as like upgrading your membership. Mm-hmm. You might gain access to like special filters for your live streams.
Okay.
The ability to create custom emojis or even like early access to new app updates.
Oh, wow.
It's all about enhancing the user experience, providing those perks for, the people who are supporting the platform through these diamond purchases.
Yeah, so it's like a way to personalize your experience, stand out within the community.
Exactly. You're not just a passive viewer anymore. You're like a participant with special privileges.
I like it. And then there's these exclusive events.
Yeah.
What are those like?
So some broadcasters will host these events specifically for their like top supporters.
Okay.
Which often requires, a certain amount of diamonds to even participate.
Wow.
So imagine like Q&A sessions, special game nights, or like behind the scenes glimpses into their lives.
Oh, wow. So it really does create a sense of community.
Right.
A deeper connection. You're not just watching, you're like engaging and experiencing things together.
Exactly.
Okay. What about those chat room boosts you mentioned?
Right.
How do diamonds work there?
So think of it as like giving your comments a little extra visibility.
Okay.
So in crowded chat rooms, you can use diamonds to like highlight your messages, make it more likely that the broadcaster will see them and, respond to you.
Oh, so it's like getting noticed in a big crowd.
It is.
Yeah, a way to make your voice heard, maybe interact directly with the broadcaster.
Exactly.
It all kind of ties back to this idea of like the tiered access and influence we were discussing earlier.
Right.
The more diamonds, the more opportunities to engage and, stand out.
It's a fascinating dynamic,
Yeah.
But now that we've covered the mechanics, I think it's time to maybe shift gears a little.
Okay.
And explore, the broader implications of all of this.
Yeah, I agree. We've got the foundation laid.
Right.
Now I'm ready to delve into the complexities.
Yeah.
And maybe even the controversies surrounding this whole Bigo economy.
Absolutely. It's really interesting how this seemingly simple system with these virtual gifts.
Right.
It actually connects to much larger trends.
Yeah.
We touched on the creator economy a bit. I think it's worth kind of unpacking that a little more.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely more than just sending a sparkly dragon across the screen.
Right.
So what are the real world implications of this whole Bigo economy for the creators themselves and the entertainment industry as a whole?
Well, think about it.
Okay.
The platforms like Bigo Live, they're changing how people earn a living. They're providing opportunities for creators to bypass the traditional gatekeepers, the TV networks, record labels, build their own audiences directly.
It's the rise of independent musicians.
Exactly.
Who can just release their music straight to fans online.
Yep.
They don't need that record deal anymore.
Right.
It's like a power shift.
It is. It's a total power shift.
And Bigo Live is kind of doing something similar for these live streamers.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It's empowering them to create their own brand.
Yeah.
Connect with those fans in real time. Earn a living doing what they love.
Exactly.
And those Bigo diamonds are fueling the whole thing.
Right. It's creating this direct revenue stream.
Right.
That's driven by fan engagement.
Yeah, that's pretty powerful when you think about it.
It is. It's powerful.
Yeah.
But it also brings up, questions about sustainability.
Yeah.
Fairness even.
Right.
Is this model really viable in the long term?
Right.
Does it actually create a level playing field for all creators?
Right.
Or does it favor the ones who are already,
popular.
Yeah, popular, who can attract more of those gifts.
Exactly, yeah. It makes me think about those articles we read about the potential downsides of this whole virtual gifting thing. We talked about overspending from the user's perspective.
Right.
But what about the pressure it could put on the creators themselves?
Yeah, it's a valid concern.
Yeah.
I mean, some people argue that this reliance on virtual gifts, it creates this dynamic where creators might feel pressured to perform in certain ways to please their audience and really trying to maximize those earnings.
Right. It's that pressure that you see on,
yeah.
social media influencers.
Exactly.
To constantly be churning out content.
Yeah.
That gets the likes, the follows.
Yeah. It can be a real hamster wheel.
It can. It can.
And when a creator's income is directly tied to the whims of their audience,
right,
it can lead to a lot of precarity, instability.
Yeah, for sure. It's like a double-edged sword, right?
It is.
On the one hand, you've got this incredible opportunity to build a career on your own terms.
Right.
But on the other hand, you've got this constant pressure.
Yes.
To perform, to cater to the audience's expectations.
And it's interesting because it also brings up, this idea of parasocial relationships, which we see a lot on platforms like Bigo Live.
Parasocial relationships now remind me.
Yeah.
That's where the fans develop a strong emotional connection.
Exactly.
With these online personalities.
Yes.
They feel like they know them.
Yeah.
Even though they've never actually met in real life.
Right. And platforms like Bigo Live, with this focus on real-time interaction, personalized gifting.
Yeah.
They can amplify these feelings of connection, of intimacy.
You're seeing someone's unfiltered reactions, their vulnerabilities, their day-to-day life, all in real time.
Yeah.
And then you have the ability to send them these virtual gifts that directly support them.
Yeah.
It creates a very different dynamic than, say, just watching a pre-recorded video.
It really does.
It blurs the lines, right?
It blurs the lines.
Between performer and audience.
Yeah.
This sense of shared experience, that can be, really compelling.
It can, for both sides. Yeah.
But like we were just talking about, this level of intimacy,
Yeah.
it can also lead to some challenges.
Yeah.
Right? There's the potential for exploitation of both the creator and the fans.
Yeah, creators might feel pressured to share more of their personal lives than they're comfortable with, or to engage in behaviors that are just gonna attract those gifts, even if it feels inauthentic.
Right. And the fans, especially like younger fans, might be susceptible to, overspending, developing these like unhealthy attachments to these online personalities.
It's a complex issue for sure.
Yeah.
No easy answers, but it highlights how important media literacy is. Critical thinking skills. When you're navigating these spaces, we need to understand the dynamics at play and make informed choices about how we engage.
Yeah, it's like anything else.
Exactly.
It's about finding that healthy balance, enjoying the connection, the entertainment value.
Yeah.
But being aware of those potential pitfalls.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
It's important to remember that these platforms are still relatively new.
They are.
We're all still figuring it out.
Yeah.
The rules of engagement, the ethical implications, the long-term impact for both the creators and the viewers.
It's a social experiment in progress.
It really is.
And Bigo Live with, the live streaming, the virtual gifting. It's right at the forefront of this whole evolution.
It is. It's really fascinating.
It is.
So if we were to step back for a second, look at the big picture. What would you say are like the key takeaways from our deep dive into Bigo Live so far?
Well, I think the main takeaway is that this is more than just an app for watching funny videos or whatever. It's a microcosm of these like larger cultural and economic shifts that are transforming the entertainment industry.
We've got this convergence of live streaming, virtual economies, evolving fan relationships.
It's all happen.
All playing out in real time.
At the same time.
Yeah. It's pretty mind-blowing.
It's pretty wild.
When you think about it.
It is.
It really challenges us to rethink our traditional notions of fandom, entertainment, even work itself.
Absolutely.
Like we're seeing the rise of the individual creator, empowered by technology, fueled by direct fan support.
It's exciting.
It is.
It's disruptive, and it's something to keep our eyes on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it raises some like profound questions, right?
Yeah.
About the future of content creation, the value of that digital interaction, this whole like evolving relationship between creators and their fans.
Right.
Questions that we'll continue to explore, you know, as we delve deeper into this fascinating world.
Absolutely.
It makes you think, like, this whole virtual gifting thing, how does it compare to, like, traditional forms of support?
Yeah.
Is sending, a virtual dragon on Bigo Live really that different from buying someone a concert ticket or, like, a signed album or something?
It's a good question. It's interesting. I mean, in both cases, you're expressing your appreciation, contributing to the creator's success, but I think there's a key difference in like the immediacy and directness of the interaction.
On Bigo Live, you're watching someone create content.
Yeah.
Like in real time, you can react and support them instantly.
Right. It's much more participatory than, say, going to a concert.
Right.
Where you're part of this larger audience.
Yeah, it's true.
It taps into that human desire for connection.
Yeah.
Recognition. And the gifts, even though they're like intangible, they become this symbol of that connection.
Okay.
It's like saying, hey, I see you. Yeah. I appreciate what you do.
Right.
I want to be a part of your journey.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not just about like the individual interactions either.
No, that's true.
These gifts are collectively creating a whole new economy.
It's a whole new economy.
We're seeing people like build careers, earn real money through these digital platforms.
Yeah, it's a pretty big shift.
It's huge.
It challenges us to rethink how we, value and measure success in a digital age.
Yeah, like
what does it mean to be, a successful artist or an entertainer when the traditional metrics like album sales, box office numbers, They're not the primary indicators anymore.
It's like we're making up a new rule book.
We are.
For a new game.
It's a new game.
And with any new game, there's going to be, winners, losers, a lot of gray area in between.
It's true.
Yeah.
And that's where those ethical considerations become really important. We have to be mindful of the potential for exploitation on both sides.
Right.
The creators who might feel pressured to perform in certain ways.
Right, to earn those gifts.
Right.
And the fans who might overspend.
Yeah.
Or develop those unhealthy attachments.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a reminder.
It is a reminder.
That even though this is happening in a virtual world,
yeah,
it's still a human interaction.
Right.
With real world consequences.
Real world consequences, definitely.
So it's not just about the technology. It's about the social and ethical frameworks that we build around it.
It's the context.
Yeah, it's the context. It's everything.
And as these platforms evolve, become more integrated into our lives, these conversations are going to be even more important.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's safe to say our deep dive into Bigo Live, it's uncovered a lot more.
It has.
Than just, sparkly dragons, virtual roses.
More than meets the eye.
It's given us a glimpse into the future of entertainment, the complexities of these online relationships, the evolving dynamics of the creator economy.
Yeah. It's been a wild ride.
It has.
And it's a reminder that, the digital world, it's not separate. It's a reflection of us, our desires, our aspirations, our vulnerabilities.
It is.
So as we continue to explore and shape these landscapes, it's important to do it with awareness, empathy, and a real commitment to creating a more, equitable, sustainable future.
For everyone involved.
For everyone, absolutely.
That's a really powerful thought to leave our listeners with.
Yeah, I hope so.
As we wrap up this deep dive, we encourage you all to keep exploring, keep questioning, keep engaging in these important conversations about the future of technology, the impact it has on all of our lives.
It's a big one.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Bigo, tune in for the show. Business matters, they run the whole flow. Streaming every night, they never take a break. Making moves online, no time for mistakes. Bigo, we on the grind. Business matters.